the idea that I'll die and then like worms will eat my body. After the whole funeral's over, everyone's gonna go to a restaurant and just eat dinner and then move on with their lives. It just takes the stakes of like, I'm so important, right? All of these goals matter, to just like,
we are back again, speed inciting our way through stuff about how hard life is. The Queen of England died 18 months ago. She ruled an entire nation and accumulated more wealth than 99.9% of humans. And yet, you haven't thought about her, except for right now. No matter how big your dreams, you're going to die. Everyone will move on. Do what you want. It sucks to not be liked, but it sucks more to not be yourself.
Yeah, it's really interesting when we think about what tactically happens when someone dies, right? Like, a lot of emotion exists in the vague, but far less in the specific, because you plan your funeral, right? And then you think that everyone's going to be standing there just forever changed because of the death and the impact that you had on their lives. But the reality is there's going to be a caterer at the funeral. Some people are going to like the food. Some people are going to comment that it was too cheap, the food that you had. They're going to have comment on the venue, like, oh, I don't really, it's a little hot. There's going to be somebody who's going to make a list of people and they're going to check them off. Some people aren't going to be able to make it last minute because things came up and it got busy. And after the whole funeral's over, everyone's going to go to a restaurant and just eat dinner and then move on with their lives. And so, not to say that the people who mean a lot to you won't remember you to a degree, sure, but on the macro scale, when I think about somebody like the Queen who accomplished so much in her life as like the zenith of accomplishment, and most people probably haven't thought about her today, except for the fact that we just brought it up. Mm-hmm. And so I think that just whenever I have my harder times, that's my like reminder to self of the absurdity of it all, which is like, someone's gonna argue over what appetizer they're gonna serve when I die. This probably doesn't matter that much.
How does that change the way that you show up and operate in the moment?
I think it just decreases affect in the acute moment. So I define resiliency as the amount of time after an aversive stimulus, after a bad thing happens, that you return back to baseline behavior. And so, and then there's the different one, which is how long is your fuse, which is toughness, and that's a whole different thing, right? But resiliency is like, okay, I've been cracked, I've hit the fuse, the bomb's gone off. But the size of the bomb is irrelevant. Like, you could be super resilient, have a terrible day, your father dies, and the next day you're back. People are like, holy shit. It's like you go to the depths of hell, you touch the bottom of the pool, and then you shoot back up. And so I think about how many different tools can I have in my tool set to make the rebound from down to back up as V-shaped as possible.
What are those tools for you?
Cosmic irrelevance is probably the biggest one when I think about because it's so fast, I feel like I do it almost automatically now, which is like, okay, I'm on a planet spinning around a sun, inside of a galaxy, inside of a universe that we'll never reach the end of because it's expanding faster than the speed of light. Okay, the fact that, there was a mistake in my book printing, no one's gonna care. It just doesn't matter, right? So that's one of them. Another one's the frame of the veteran, which I use a lot, which is if this inconvenience happened 1,000 times in a row, on the 1,000th time, what would I think about it? Well, I'd probably be like, well, this is just how life is. And then if I could feel that way on the 1,000th time, then it means that I can feel that way on the first time right now, because it's just choice, because the actual circumstance is the same. Those are probably my two most prevalent, or the ones that I like, my default ones that are my back pocket.
There's a cool insight that the more you complain, the less accurate your model of reality. So complaining is you saying, the world isn't delivering to me that which I anticipated or expected or desired from it, which is also you saying, I don't understand how the world works until it comes and meets me in reality.
God, I haven't heard it phrased that way, and I really like it. I think about the hate that we all get, whether it's from ourselves or other people, or the hate that we spew towards the external conditions, is simply boiled down to, this person lives their life in a way that I would not prefer. And so I have translated every single negative comment that comes to me where someone complains about me, so flipping the script, to Alex lives his life in a way that I would not prefer.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's actually been this very weird, like, oh, they said all this stuff. And I was like, does that mean I live my life in a way they wouldn't prefer? Great, because they live their life in a way that I wouldn't prefer. And that's why it's their life and I live my life. And it's just been this really wonderful reframe that like, just almost comically completely minimizes most things.
Yes.
But I think that complaints come down to that. The universe exists in a way that I would not prefer. Right?
Yep.
It's like,
why are you not bending to my will?
Yeah. And so I think I can't remember the psychologist. I'm gonna butcher it. But one of the big guys I want to say Kinsey, but I don't want to mess it up. Talked about there's 3 primary things that everyone casts all their pain and suffering to, which is you have circumstances, you have other people, and then you have self, and that's it. Those are the three big ones that everyone puts all of their blame on. And so the first 2 obviously don't serve you. The third sometimes serves you depending on what you do as a result of it, right? And so that actually, those big 3 has just been a really easy filter. Is like, oh, am I blaming circumstances? Am I blaming other people? Am I blaming me? And obviously you want to skip to you because that's the only thing you can do anything about.
The idea that all of the things that you're working toward, all of the dreams, all of those things are going to stop. There is going to be a day when you no longer answer your emails. Like, I think about this. I think about how many, even now, right? Email's not been around for that long, widespread, maybe 25 years, something like that. Most people have had an email address, maybe 20 years. All of the people that have died between then and now, they just have email inboxes, just accumulating stuff from, lots of newsletters, lots of online retailers. But there will also be people expecting a reply.
Right.
And saying, why hasn't this guy replied to me? And it's like, because he's dead.
Yeah. There's just thinking, I think a lot about the end of my life. Maybe it's a borderline obsession of mine, but thinking about like what the last 5 years are going to look like, and also thinking about my cognitive decline, which is going to be inevitable on the back half of my life. And it gets really tricky when you think about fluid intelligence, which peaks when you're like between 25 and 35, and then like at our age right now, it's just all going down, right?
Yep.
Like we're beginning the slow decline. And in thinking about that, I was like, I will actually never be sharper than I am today for the rest of my life. And the idea that there will be young people who will replace me, because humans are all replaceable. We have proven that. And so when I think about that, it decreases the stakes of these huge dreams that if I don't accomplish them, I will be upset or else. And so it's like we have these big or else's, like we want to threaten the universe, like I can't stand it if this does not occur. It's like, and the universe remains unchanged, and the universe is undefeated.
Correct. Well, that's why I was my Twitter bio for a long time was locally reversing entropy.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I just love that idea that you have the entire universe, this force entropy, which is going to inevitably destroy everything.
Yeah.
Not just everything you care about, everything that could have created anything that anything could have cared about. And it's going to destroy it.
Yeah.
But for a brief period of time, a few decades, you locally stop the most powerful force in the universe. I think that's so cool.
I don't know if you saw this, but Bezos has this one page that was just brilliant. And he basically paraphrases Richard Dawkins talking about how over time, all organisms revert to their environment. Literally, like the temperature of your body once you die eventually just normalizes with the environment. The acidity of what's going on, like inside of your body, normalizes, and then eventually you become one with your environment. And so it's the exact same concept. And so Bezos was talking about that quote, which was about biology, but he said, this is, originally about biology, but so much more so about the way that we want to live, which is that everything around you will try and force you to dilute yourself. It will force you to try and merge in, fit in with your surroundings. And he said, like, this force is natural and it's inevitable, and yet we have to fight it. And the fact that it's hard does not make it less worth it. And I thought that was like, it was just, I reposted it because I thought it was so elegant.
It's like a cosmic regression to the mean.
Yeah, it's exactly that. That's exactly what it is. So I think if we all know that we're going to, the regression to the mean is inevitable. Like, And like, again, I think about these things that are, I want to say, I don't know if humiliating is the word, but like humility inducing. But like the idea that I'll die and then like worms will eat my body. Just like a very simple thing like that. Or if I died, like I was like, what if I just died by an animal killing me? Like sometimes I think about that and I'm like, I would just be its lunch. Like everything that I've done up to this point is like, my arm will feed its child. And like my thigh will feed it, and then like they'll leave some of it for the carrion.
You'd be a good meal.
Yeah,
it would be a good meal.
I'd be one good meal.
Yeah.
And it just like it just takes the stakes of like I'm so important, right? All of these goals matter to just like I could be lunch, and that kind of gives me one large exhale.